then, basically. King Shire Farms in the building. What's going on?
You already know it's going down. King Shire Farms. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we in the building tonight.
You got the topic for today. You ready to cook today?
Yeah, ready
Everybody's
to
waiting
cook,
on you to
man.
cook, man. They've been asking me, man.
Yes,
They got
sir.
a couple emails. They was like, "Hey, man, who's that? Who's that King Shire Farms guy, man? Where's he at?" I said, "Okay. I'm just taking notes, man. The community, they love you, man. They love you. So
Man, I so appreciate it, man. I show love to the community, man. I'm for the community, man. Let's get it, man. Let's house these dogs, man. Put them in perspective. Kill them, baby. Let's go.
that's what's up. King Shire Farms also sent me a diagram. It was a pretty nice setup. I'll let him explain it. Go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah, those right there are kennels. I have a 4x4, four for 4 dogs, and it costs like maybe 12,500. Was one of the first things I bought when I got my dogs, and those particular ones right there, they probably run about 4,000 a piece. But the more bays you get, the less you'll pay. So and they usually run about maybe 350 a month payment. So I'm just finished paying for one now, past months ago, and I paid 12,500 for a 4 bay. But, yeah, I have a couple of those, and those are they're not heavy duty, but when you raise a puppy in there, you basically you get the same attitude and the same movement as he was when he was a puppy because you demand your respect and him not to tear it up. So basically, it's still in pretty much good condition after 2.5 years. And it maybe took a little while for them to deliver it, maybe 2 months for them to make it. Actually, they had to make it. And I had to choose the color I wanted. But the ply boards and then the boards and stuff, they're not too thick. But from being from a puppy, and they never bit on my dogs, were taught not to bite on the wood. They never ended up on the other side. When I have dogs that's pregnant, I raise like one or two of them together, and the ones that's next to each other, which is like I have a dog named Gunner and his sister. They actually can be next to each other, but if they get out of the pen, it's like they don't know each other. It's total chaos. But they were brought up, so the dogs have obedience within the pens, and that's a good thing about those pens. You can actually teach them, but you have some that you have to put a board in between them, in the middle of them, if you have like a 2 bay or a 3 bay or 4 bay, like I do, you know. So, but they're pretty expensive. They have water drains where you could drain the water off from the comes out the bottom of it. Has electricity, has lights out there, so you have to plug like extension cord coming from the house or whatever, and you have full lights in each one of them. So I have heat lamps in them that keep the dogs warm or puppies warm, and usually I fill the back part up where the housing full of hay. If I'm not using hay, I use cedar chips, and that's usually my go-to to cedar chips because it keeps the smell down. The smell of the hay be a little sour to me when one on it, you know. Just keep it. So uh,
Kind of broke out a little bit.
20 years, you're looking at a 4 or 5 year investment. Then you have to start adding wood probably after about 3 or 4 years. But I haven't had that problem with my dogs. Basically, that's a good setup for American people or terriers, especially if they're not hard keepers. But if they're hard keepers like mine, you got to have some type of obedience within the dog or raise them next to the dog that is not going to actually try to get through the other side. And I've been having a pretty good success rate with that so far. Knock on wood. Yeah, that's one of my setups. Yes,
Nice,
sir.
very nice, very nice, very nice.
That is very nice.
Yeah, we now we just up in here, man. We talking about setups and everything. You guys feel free to, get on in there and talk about your setups. Those are just a couple that I have on deck for this show. We're gonna be doing a show like this very often because there's a lot of new things that can be added. There's a lot of new things that people are doing, and let's be honest, we're all experimenting and trying new setups and different things. And the goal is to have a safe place for your animals so that you won't have to worry about them escaping all the time. I mean, that's the big thing to keep them safe and out of things that they don't need to be getting into. So if I can leave and go out for the night, or put them away for the night and come back in the morning, I don't really have to worry about that animal that got loose and done harm somebody or harm another animal, or done did something. Then I think it's a success from that part on. So
A litter of Staffords, and I lost a couple. Now I was thinking if it was because I had them, I put them on the ground, you know. But I have pavers on all the 10x10s. But yeah, that's why I'm just listening to you guys, how you guys are cooking it up. It's amazing.
yeah, man. Now it's good to just see the different things that people are doing and see what's working.
One
Oh
thing
yeah,
about what King Shire said, King said he used the ammonia, for the spiders and all that good stuff. Uh, I'm not sure if I've never used ammonia. Let him talk about that because I might have to put that in some of my recipe.
King Shire, you still there?
Yeah, don't know. No. The dogs won't bite the wood if ammonia is at the bottom of it. It won't hurt their nose like the bleach. It's not too sensitive. It just gives them an odd smell, but it keeps bugs away. You know, constantly. Days and days of you put it down, probably in a corner, in one corner, put it in another corner.
Now, are you
You
spray?
won't
Are
see
you
no
cutting that
bugs.
with
They'll
water?
leave
Are you
completely.
cutting it with something else? Or are you just doing full ammonia? What do you? How do you? Was it a mix?
I just do a drip. I do a full ammonia drip. Yep. Because if you notice, if you got trash outside, and you used to having ants in your trash or flies getting in your trash, put ammonia in your trash can and watch when you take your trash out, you won't even see a maggot or nothing in there. Period. So that tells you a lot right there. You know. So that ammonia is a bad guy. I got with my wife. My wife used ammonia. I remember the smell when I was younger in Louisiana. I used to go to my grandma's house. You stink. I said, man, this is the worst smell I ever smelled in my life. But when I got older and I got with a woman that really knew how to clean, she started using ammonia in the house, and it was strong and it was stank, but it wasn't strong as bleach. But outside of that, I noticed that ammonia made all the roaches and everything leave like on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? I said, wait, hold on, this is something different. So I started using ammonia and it never hurt my dog. Shoot, um, notice all the spider webs and everything started leaving out there. So I go out there now. I still got spider webs, but ain't no spiders can't be found. So, but that's me changing to ammonia, then changing went from bleach to ammonia. So I just started using common sense and started using that ammonia, and ammonia works. You know, so and it'll be good if um you can spray it or you can do a drip in each corner, just like by the kennels and stuff like that. But you totally gonna see a difference, you know. So and it keeps rats and rodents down too, of course, because that's one of the worst smells for an animal. I'm sure ammonia, but it doesn't hurt your dogs at all, And it definitely doesn't make them sick. So yeah,
Now that sounds very interesting. Very interesting. That ammonia.
And you ain't gonna hear that from no dog
Hey,
man
hey, King
too
Shire,
much.
I
Rick.
appreciate you. I appreciate you for that tip. I'm putting that down in my notebook right now.
Put it in the pocket.
Yeah, and it's cheap too. And it's very cheap. So you know, you you get ammonia, you get ammonia, and you put it on your dog's back. You get a little bit, and you water it down, spread on your dog's back. He won't bite his back no more. Where he biting at? Promise you that. You know, and every bug that's on him gonna jump off of him. They're gonna be trying to run, but it ain't like giving them a bath. It's like putting something on them that's toxic. But at the same time, you don't want to put it on a pregnant dog, definitely, and you want to at least wait till the puppy is at least 6 to 7 weeks old before you lightly put it on a puppy. So I use that and all the stuff that people was talking about the dogs catching. I never had that problem like ticks and stuff like that. I seen a tick one day. I put ammonia on the dog back. The tick was gone the next morning. So that should tell you a lot right there, you know. So you know, if it can get in the blood system and make that tick leave, that lets you know it ain't mess the dog up. It ain't make the dog sick. It made the ticks leave and any bugs that was on the dog. You know, you have uh, ants and everything run from ammonia. You know, because it puts out a fume that's undeniable. And then you know if we can smell it, a dog can smell it. And you know if a dog can smell it, it's pretty much gonna affect any type of insect because of the fumes within the ammonia within itself. And I don't know why it works so good, but it does work. It's not like putting alcohol on a dog, burnt oil, or some type of substance that you buy from a feeding seed or something like that. It's not like that. So I watched my wife. She used ammonia to clean up, and I just took that and ran with it. That's all. But nobody told me that. I had to just use it. That's just experience. That's all. And that's cleanliness, you know. So, so that's what she uses. So I kind of adapted to that. Now I can stand smelling ammonia now due to you know how pretty got familiar with it over a period of time. Your dog will get familiar with it too. So
Yes, sir.
ammonia, dishwasher liquid, ammonia and dishwasher liquid are my favorite two things to clean a kennel with. I use a scrub brush, a long scrub brush, and
Does the ammonia kill that
uh,
green shit?
short scrub brush.
What, that
No, it's
algae?
clear. You can get it.
No, no, I'm asking do it
Ammonia,
kill
ammonia.
that algae shit ammonia?
It breaks down. It breaks down different compounds within the that's that has an infection in it. Basically, mold and stuff like that. You know, so you can put water on something and it'll mold, but you use that with the because you get ammonia with vinegar in it. You know, so y'all know what vinegar can do. You know, I ain't got to teach y'all about that. The vinegar is strong, so you know
Yeah, I kill
it's
my
not
leaves
something
with
that a
that.
dog is gonna. Yeah, yeah. So you know how strong it is. So, yeah, and that's just hands on being authentic and using the right things because it's trial and error. You know, because if it would have hurt one of my puppies, I would have known not to use it on my grown dog. You know, because definitely if it hurt a puppy, it hurt a grown dog. But if it's
While
not
we on
gonna
the
hurt a puppy, you know it ain't gonna hurt your grown dog.
while we on the subject of puppies, this is another one that I got from you right here. Why don't you explain what's going on in this picture?
Oh, right there, I had just did the floor with ammonia, and that was a litter of puppies that I had off. Let me see, that looked like cock diesel uh, 3, That's off a dog named Matalato and Gunner. And those puppies actually right there were maybe exactly, if I'm looking at them, they were 6 weeks old, 5.5 weeks old on that picture right there. And those that's ammonia that I just did the floor with. And they're used to it. And I think it was like 8 or 9 of those pups. And they're probably like 8, 9 months old right now. You know, but that's a kennel. The kennel that you seen with the yes he showed earlier. That's that's a 4 bay right there. And next to her, I don't have nobody next to her right then or on the other side because usually when it's puppies, you don't want to have them in there. So I have extra spaces open. But actually, that female, she has changed in the past probably 4 or 5 months. So she definitely can't be nowhere close to anything now. Naturally, she just turned into another dog. And those puppies actually right there uh, are like 7 months old, and I haven't had a complaint about either one of those right there. And I just bred the mother again. She just dropped 2 weeks ago, and but that's Tractor Supply. I put that water in there, and then on the outside of that, he cut the picture off. I don't know if you can see the whole picture, but it's a bowl for them to go get water. So I make them get away from the inside of the housing area and go more to the end of the gate so so I can see who's shy and who's not. So none of them are shy, but usually that one that came out comes out first, and the rest of them will follow. So you have a few puppies after that grew that same thing when that puppy left. I usually get rid of the puppy that's coming out first, you know, and not because the person asked for it, is because I feel like that's the most outgoing puppy that'll give me the most success because it's leaving my yard due to it not having no type of shyness. And usually by our time all of them leave, they'd be the same way, running out like that. So and on the part where they're coming out at, there's usually a flap right there, but I took the flap off because it was kind of summertime. So you don't want to have that flap, and then you can probably see the chips on the outside from them dragging it out and me spraying and being quick and going to work or whatever. I just boo boo out there. I get it up, but usually you're not gonna see no boo boo around my puppies because they catch that coccidia, and then you got to use chlorid, and I got a bottle of chlorid, and it only takes 1 or 2 drops of chlorid you put in that water, regardless, regardless, wintertime or summertime. You never neglect chlorid, and I learned that from a good brother from Florida that taught me about chlorid because he had some dogs that he sold that died from coccidia, and the main thing to do is to use 2 or 3 drops every time in that water. Like a big gallon bucket like that, you might use about 5 drops. You know, in a little water bowl, you might use 2 drops for your puppies. You know, so when they step in their shit or step in their piss, you don't have to never worry about them getting sick from coccidia because once one of them gets sick, the other ones get sick right behind it. They pass it, and that's usually and it might leave and the yard and then it wasn't sick. But when it leaves, it gets sick after it leaves, or you didn't sell the dog, and you got to repay for the dog because it got coccidia. They took him to the hospital, and you be like, "Damn, I ain't think he was sick too." But it's so I just use it naturally, you know, to um to make sure my dogs never get sick from that. And a
So are
lot of
you just
times you
doing
have
a
kennels like this, dogs
so you
periodically,
just doing a are you just
periodically.
doing a drop of the chloride into a 5 gallon water bowl? Or does it or you have to measure it
Yeah,
out the cap?
about five in the 5 gallon. In the 5 gallon, I put a little hole in the top of it, like it's like paper at the top. You know, you can just pull the paper off. So I just put a hole where enough drops can come out, and I just drop it like 5 times in a 5 gallon bucket. For each gallon, I give it like a drop or two. You know, but if I didn't already put a drop in there and I'm just filling up on the water that's in there, I probably add a drop every 3 days or something like that.
I appreciate that, OG.
You back in there.
For
You
the
back in
time
there.
because where I'm at, it gets probably like 30 degrees, 29 degrees at night. So a lot of it freeze over. So I had to get in there and bust it up when in the morning, bust the water up, and then when I bust the water up, I add a little chloride and I shake the 5 gallon bucket or whatever. And then, because the chloride gonna go far. You can get a whole thing of chloride for right at probably maybe $20, and it lasts us a long time. Some people put too much in there, but it's not gonna hurt the dog when you put like you don't want to put a cup in there. You don't want to put a quarter of a cup in there. You just want to put drops in there because over a period of time, it's gonna delinquish within the water, and uh, it's gonna definitely get in their system. So and then and you could just treat them periodically, you know, so at least once a week, twice a week, you know. But I do it probably once a week, sometimes twice a week, even in the wintertime. So that's why my puppies be looking real thick, all of them. They look like you can see them, they look like little bullies almost. That's just how I keep my puppies. All of them be real thick. If you look in the picture, the one all the way in the back, you can even see how thick that one is. You know, like you can see the skin on them. I like my puppies to actually don't look like pit bulls when they're young. I want them to look like some type of mastiff. Because the more fat they had on them, the less heat I got to put on them. The less heat I got to put on them, the less energy I'm using, the less money I'm using if I'm not using energy. So I make everything make sense when I do it, and I try to prevent a lot of stuff due to how I keep my dogs from spraying it down every morning. When you pay $12,000 for a kennel and you got two or three of them, like I do, you definitely you have to spray it down and keep it because you ain't gonna let just one dog eat one side out and then you got holes everywhere. Over 2 or 3 years you're gonna catch a hole of one or two. Then you're gonna put some obedience on them, make sure they don't keep doing that. So therefore, to stay there. If not, you put them on the chain or put them in a kennel that's more durable due to his activity. So um, most kennels I have, this kennel right here is actually like 2 feet off the ground and it's heavy as hell. And it took a truck to pull it in. I don't know if Buck gonna put the picture up when I got the forebay, but if he put that up, you'll actually see um, how big it is coming off a truck. We talking about like a 18 wheeler truck, you know. So I had to cement in and everything and put it back in there after they got finished. And I had to make sure I was getting all of them at one time because I got a barn too. I got a big barn, and so I had to get a lot of housing for my dogs. I spent maybe 12,000 for each one of the four bay things and piece and the the concrete slab that I'm getting made now. I spent $3,000 in it. It's probably about 30 feet long, 30 feet wide. You know, so you know it costs money, but at the same time, when you're really into your dogs, you're not talking about it. It's like investing in a car or something. You're paying payments. So if you got the kind of money to pay for it at one time, it's good. But a lot of people don't have the kind of money, and I never did. But not saying I'm not there now. I'm there now. But who wants to pay everything off when everything helping your credit? I, I didn't think I could put it on my credit. But guess what? If you default on your loan, they come to pick it up, and if they can't find it, they're gonna put it on your credit anyway. So I made it to the point where I paid a little more money to make sure it shows up on my credit. A lot of people don't do that. I just I try to do stuff the right way so I can benefit from the dogs being here. You know, so yeah.
King Shire Farms. This how I'm feeding today. Pregnant dogs.